soul, Lord.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and a very special holiday wish from all of us here at 2K Sports.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Ernie Johnson and Shaq and Kenny.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, it's
Shaka Claus.
What a festive day it is. Tonight, we'll be watching the Houston Rockets playing against the San Antonio Spurs. Well, for San Antonio, this is a team they played pretty well against last season, going 3-1. They'll look to keep that edge tonight. From all of us here at 2K, Merry Christmas!
Ho, ho, ho!
Nowhere I would rather be on this day than here with you guys.
I got a couple other places, but this is not bad either.
You know
I
what
got
I
a
got
couple
for
other
Christmas,
places,
Ernie?
got a couple other guys.
You know what I got for
other
Christmas
people.
this morning?
Yeah. What'd you give?
Not a dang thing.
No?
I'm
No
Santa,
gifts?
I'm Santa Claus. Santa Claus don't get gifts.
Oh. Well, it sure is great to be here and be watching NBA hoop, isn't it,
It
fellas?
is, buddy. It sure is.
Well, I appreciate the helicopter, Santa, that you got me today.
That wasn't Santa. That was me.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
Well, I think the game's just about ready to start. So what do you say we go to Kevin Harlan?
Yeah.
Good idea. Kevin.
I didn't buy that for you. You got to return it.
Just a great look at the metropolis. That is Houston, Texas. Welcome to a special presentation of the NBA on Christmas Day here on 2K Sports. We want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. We're live in Houston where the Rockets have home court advantage. Look at San Antonio facing off here against a very talented ball club, guys. This is a tremendous chance for them to put all their skill and talent on display.
This is one of those games when you look at your calendar, it's circled before the schedule's even released. So it's one of the best rivalries we have in our league. And guys, this is the one you do not want to miss.
No doubt about it, because it seems like these two teams always have a reason to be angry at each other, a little chippy at the very least, and that brings out the best basketball in both of them.
And guys, before last season, Trevor Ariza signing a 4-year, $32 million deal with the Rockets. Big free agent get for the team.
And, you know, they wanted to re-sign Chandler Parsons, Kevin, but with his departure, in comes Ariza, and Trevor is a quality replacement. I mean, a terrific wing defender, and he's a nice spot-up shooter as well.
And the starting group for the Spurs, the always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Kawhi Leonard is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Gasol at the center position.
And, you know, you compare their games. Ariza a bit more limited maybe offensively than Parsons, a few years older, but he's also a better defender and also better at playing without the basketball. Remember, you got 5 guys out there, only 1 ball. Sometimes your chemistry can improve when a guy doesn't need the basketball to be effective.
Now here's Leonard. He's coming off a 22-point game against Minnesota.
And how about the block shots, guys? I mean, just overpowering on the defensive side. Really, he was the intimidator.
Ariza with the bucket.
And, you know, for the Rockets, a nice pairing with James Harden and Trevor Ariza. Ariza, a spot-up shooter and defender, while Harden arguably the premier offensive creator in the league. I mean, they really complement each other well.
Parker will not go. This is off the front iron. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Kevin, earlier I had a chance to speak with Greg Popovich. We went over the matchups in tonight's game, and when we came to Nene, he told me, now there's a player. You just don't find big men with that kind of body who's that light on his feet. I don't know if it's his soccer background, but the way he moves, it's awfully tough to stay between him and the iron. Guys, that's the goal, but we'll see if they're able to make it happen. Back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Last outing for Houston, it was a loss to the Magic in Orlando.
Yeah, it's just hard to make up when you have an inability to make free throws consistently, and that's why they ended up losing.
Yes, sir. I think some doubt started to creep in when they kept missing those foul shots. And you could see them start to shy away from wanting to even go to the line.
Here's Parker. Michael Beasley picking up that last basket. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting, his rebounding As we know, Greg has always been fantastic. Over the past 2 seasons, he's averaged double-digit boards.
And that's why so many teams wanted him in this last free agency period. His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination.
The free throw drops for Aldridge.
You know, on the topic of Aldridge's rebounding, I mean, he doesn't do it by banging people around. He does it with positioning, timing, and length. And you can say that about most of his game. Quietly, effective, and impactful.
He's off on the second.
And guys, going back to Aldridge, last season was a difficult one for him. He had the torn ligament in his left thumb, but still fought through it to become the Blazers' all-time leader in rebound.
Now here's Parker. Harden missing his last shot. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Parker outside. Clock at 6. Dishes to Green. Beasley against Gasol. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. Gasol's got his first 2 points of the night. Rockets leading by 4. Nene left side. And the rebound goes to Pau Gasol.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Green, the screen. Kicks it out to Leonard for the 3. The shot no good. For Houston, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Beverly dishes to Nene. Aldridge against Beasley. Baseline J on the way. No good. Nice D from Aldridge. Leonard attacking. Then Gasol with the dunks.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well.
And it's the Rockets with the ball, following the bucket by the Spurs. And continuing to expand his arsenal last season, Patrick Beverly, the guard for the Rockets. Career highs in assists and rebounds per game, and he's one of the smallest guys on the floor.
Yeah, and he's really working on the details of becoming a better playmaker, becoming a guy that has coaches trust him to handle the basketball in those crucial situations.
You know, talking about Beverly, his wrist injury really changed things for the Rockets at the end of last season. Suddenly, 37-year-old Jason Terry had to take on big minutes at the point, and he was serviceable, but they missed Beverly's toughness on defense particularly.
And going back to the one thing with Patrick Beverly, his shot could still be more consistent. Last year, he was down in shooting averages across the board, including just 38% from the field. It makes it very difficult on your offense when you have an inability to space the floor.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Beasley outside. In the hoop for his third make from the field. He's 3 for 4 thus far in the contest. Spurs trail by 3. Parker outside. Passes to Gasol. And it's good on the assist by Parker. And it's 6 points for Pau Gasol.
Well, I'll tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
And it's sent back by Aldridge. Right side Leonard. Tries from 10. Rockets with the rebound.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Back to Beverly. It's rebounded by Aldridge.
I tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
Nobody near Leonard. And he gets it to go from the corner. Leonard's got his first points of the night.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Pardon the pass to Beasley. And stolen by Aldridge. Parker kicks to Green. The wide open look here for Aldridge. Can't get it to go. So Houston will take it the other way. And this matchup with the Spurs, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and they're hoping for a better showing against this club this season. Last year they came out on the losing end.
And, you know, with two teams in the upper pyramid in the early going, important to establish that pecking order, especially within your conference. So this game is important.
Nene has the open look. The Rockets again can't hit. Spurs have gone 6 of 13 from the field, just under the 50% mark. Parker against Beverly. Parker's shot is off.
That's what we call good defense in the paint, worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
Now here's Parker, following the miss by Trevor Ariza. Green, the screen. Three-pointer. But they recover it. He dishes it to Gasol. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Gasol's got 8 points.
Yeah, sloppy D there. You can't let him get the ball in his hands down there.
Extremely untidy on the defensive end. I mean, when he gets it in that close, that's an easy bucket.
And the Spurs being the defending champions out west heading into last year, but they would end up 6th in the conference with a record of 55-27. Had a record of 32-20 against the rest of the West. Moment here to see the numbers for Harden. 5th in scoring, 18th in three-point shooting, and he's among the top 20 free throw shooters in the league. Doesn't waste many opportunities at the line.
And as you said, one of the NBA's most potent scorers, always up to the challenge.
Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. David Lee's checked in for Gasol. Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Green, and it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Here is Caspi, 11 points for him in that last game against the Magic in Orlando. We knew the West was going to be wild and very competitive all season long last year, and the Spurs, Clark, epitomized just how crazy and tough things can be there.
Yeah, and with about 3 weeks left in the season, the Spurs were sitting in the 7th playoff spot. Then they go on a tear and win 11 games in a row to jump to number 2. Finally lose one game, and they're all the way back to 6th.
And so it's Houston with it. Kawhi Leonard unable to get his shot to go. Gianni for 3. The rebound by the Spurs. Leonard's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the board.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Rockets trail by 3. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Here's Prigioni. Motiejunas, a screen on Leonard. Prigioni kicks to Motiejunas. He nails it, and we're tied up. Motiejunas has got himself on the board with 3 there.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Good.
How about the screen that frees him up, though, for the jumper?
Houston's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Prigioni kicks to Capella. Lee with the steal. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there why he does.
Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for San Antonio.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
Now here's Monty Eunice. 11 points for him in that last game against Orlando.
And also, he competed on the backboards. That also had a lot to do with the game.
Here's Mills, following the basket by Monty Eunice. Now Mills. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Anderson dishes to Ginobili. Shot clock at 5 from down low. And here's Leonard from 3. Another miss by Leonard.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Regioni, that's a two-pointer. Monty Eunice, no luck. Mark, last season we saw Monty Eunice make some nice strides.
Yeah, big uptick in his scoring efficiency, Kevin. Both his shooting from beyond the arc and from within the arc increased.
The Spurs making a switch here. Simmons is checked in. So it's San Antonio now. It's a three-point game. Mills with it. Nailed from three-point land. Mills has got his second bucket tonight.
And Monty Eunice actually showing a newfound post repertoire there. I mean, he's deceptive. He has hooks and pump fakes, little up and unders. The Rockets looked to him for offense when they weren't playing through Harden. And Monty Eunice is a very confident player. I think where he can still improve is his rebounding and defensive impact. With a 7-foot frame, he's got to learn to play like a 7-footer.
The three-point game, such a big part of the NBA. Let's see the best teams at it. Fifth best, the Rockets.
No doubt, they have snipers on that roster, that's for sure. It's been a terrific year for them from beyond the arc.
.146 left here in the opening quarter. Caspi passes to Brewer. Regioni kicks to Capella. They set the pick. Brewer's shot is off.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
1:16 left to play in the first quarter. From beyond the arc, here's Monty Eunice. Down it goes, his third basket. He's now 3 for 4.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
Lee kicks to Mills. And the 3 off target. Last game for the Spurs. They want to turn it around after the loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
And the effort down the stretch, those final few minutes of regulation, you know, that's what they needed, but they were burnt out in the overtime.
Yeah, that's a good call, Greg. I mean, there was a little bit of a letdown for them in OT, and that can happen after you spend so much energy just to force the overtime.
And so it's San Antonio with it after the Rockets pick up 3. Anderson. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Houston's gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. Here's Brewer, and it's Houston with another. San Antonio trailing here. Ginobili outside. The pass to Lee. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. The Spurs have shot 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
Really, guys, it's just come together for them at the charity stripe this season. I mean, the confidence is there, and so too are the results.
And so David Lee nails them both.
Well, as far as the league's big men go, he's one of the very best at the foul line.
Here's Prigioni. There's the 3. And again, it's the Rockets from deep. One quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Rockets ahead, leading by just 2. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. And Tim Duncan closing out what's been a remarkable career, a Hall of Fame career. We heard from teammate Manu Ginobili about what Tim's meant to the San Antonio Spurs. Well, as Manu saying, Duncan, no doubt the long-term face of the Spurs franchise and arguably their best player ever, which brings up the conversation, Greg, of where he stands all-time league-wide.
Well, he's right there. And listen, let's give him a little more credit, Manu. He's got 5 rings now, you know, having won that championship 2 seasons ago. But look, Kobe's in that category with 5 rings and an MVP as well. So he's an all-time great. I don't know how you rank him, but when you have a conversation about the best ever, Tim Duncan will be in.
And we're ready to get rolling once again here for our Christmas Day matchup. Guys, for the Rockets, what jumps out to you from a numbers standpoint?
Really, it's always a positive when you can get some impact off your bench.
Always nice to have firepower coming from the reserves, and they've had firepower and then some so far.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the floor for San Antonio, Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Aldridge out there with Pau Gasol. And it's Simmons in at the 3 spot. And the first one at the line is good. Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
Ariza hits them both.
And, you know, for the Rockets, they had a major gut check in the second round. Went down 3-1 against the Clippers. Came back to win the series in 7, including Game 6, when I dozed off when they were trailing by 19 in the 4th and was shocked to wake up in the morning and see they had forced the 7th game. Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
And with the Rockets' last postseason, their trip to the conference finals was as far as they would go. Went out to the Warriors in 5 games. Most of them, though, close ones. I think most fans were pleased with how far the team went last year in spite of all the injuries.
Now here's Beverly. 9 points last game. Pass to Beasley. Lets it go from 14. Back to Beverly. Houston moving the ball around. Harden draws the double. Ariza with it. Leonard picks him up. Beasley sets a screen for Ariza. Nene dishes to Harden. Nene the screen. And Aldridge comes over to help. 4 on the clock. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. And Nene, a guy with an incredibly strong start to his career in Denver. The first Brazilian to ever be selected in the first round. Voted, as you may recall, to the NBA All-Rookie team.
Yeah, and came into the league just a tremendously raw talent. Really developed faster than a lot of people expected, but what has been the case for him is the injury bug. I mean, the knee, the foot, shoulder, Achilles, you name it, he's had it, and it's hindered his career somewhat.
And cancer. He's beaten cancer.
That's a very good point.
And he's good on the second.
Yeah, you know, going back to Nene, in 14 years, he's been able to suit up for roughly 65% of the games. That's tough on the team's continuity on both ends of the floor. Injuries have been a part of that, though, and oftentimes those are beyond the player's control. And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want. And you know, guys, the thing with Nene, he helps you in so many ways when he's in there. He's hard to back down in the post. He eats up space, tough to get around on picks. He has the toughness that champions are made of.
He's got so much junk in his trunk. He'll find a way to hurt you.
Rockets trail by 4. And here's Beverly. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Beasley against Aldridge. Beasley up top. The step back jumper is good. Beasley's got 8 points.
Great shot. Had to fade back, but he still managed to drain it.
Parker against Beverly. Parker outside. Here's Aldridge. No good on the triple. Houston's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Harden with it. Now Green defending. Here's Beverly. Rejected by Gasol. They retain possession. And here's Harden for 3. Again, the miss by Harden.
And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
Very good. He's a thinking man's defender. Knows how to bother even the best shooters without being overly aggressive.
Now Parker. James Harden missing on the 3. Parker passes to Gasol. Misfires after coming off the pick. Rockets have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter, going just 1 for 5. Harden against Leonard. That's tipped. And now it's Leonard running. Here we go. All the way. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
Now here's Parker. Harden missing his last shot. Parker kicks to Leonard. From 17 feet out. Shot is off. Good D by Harden. Rockets trail by 4. Here's Beverly. Puts it up. And it comes off the front of the rim.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
Yeah, heat check or not, I don't care how hot he may or may not be. He's not making that one.
Now here's Leonard. He's got 10. Out to the right wing. Here's Aldridge. Down to 5 on the shot clock. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
I love how he used his height advantage on that shot.
And he had the nice soft touch with it, too.
Here's Ariza. Another miss by Houston. Here's San Antonio now. They're on a 13-5 run here. Parker dishes to Leonard. Outside Gasol. Kicks to Parker. It's rebounded by Houston.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
Now here's Leonard. Harden missing his last shot. Aldridge, no luck. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Now, here is Harden. He's coming off a 37-point game against Orlando.
Yeah, and it seemed like he spent about half the game shooting free throws. Credit him for really taking it to the defense.
They get it back. Goes up again, and it's good. Fought through contact. It's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
For Houston, they have gone 5 of 7 from the free throw line in the game. Catching up on the changes for Houston. Monteunas is checked in for Beasley. Caspi comes in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Brewer in for Patrick Beverley. Last season, Clark, the Spurs kept on winning as usual. They passed the Lakers, in fact, for the best winning percentage all time for a franchise.
Well, some of that has to do with the struggles the Lakers had last season, but more of it is credit to the Spurs. Consistency and high-quality play has been who they are and have been for 2 decades.
And with the Spurs and their winning percentage, it's right above 60. Not bad for a team that joined the NBA back in 1977.
And the Rockets making a change here. Capella's checked in. So it's San Antonio now. 3-point lead.
A lot of the Spurs' success, guys, with their winning percentage has come since the 90s. The way they are put together, who knows how high they can push that franchise winning percentage.
San Antonio again missing. Houston's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. A shot by Harden, wide open. They get it again. And Brewer kicks to Harden. Goes up again, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Well, guys, James Harden, quite possibly the most devastating rim attacker in the league today, just refuses to slow down. Wayne Clark, he's going right at the basket.
Yeah, he's got it all, Kevin. I mean, he's so thick and strong and has deceptive moves and explosiveness. When he gets inside, he's scoring or you're fouling.
2 shots. 2 shots.
Free throw good, James Harden.
And when you're defending Harden, it really is a pick-your-poison situation. I mean, we talked about his driving, but you can't gap him because he's also a very good shooter and passer. So that double team that you want to provide as well, he's real good at finding that open man.
Harden hits them both.
And guys, another thing about Harden, he draws so much attention defensively. So even when he misses around the rim, oftentimes it's going to create offensive rebound opportunities for the Rockets. So he takes the whole defense with him.
Now here's Mills. He has 5. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. One thing about David Lee is a proven scorer and rebounder. Clark, health, though, has been a concern.
It has been very durable early in his career, Kevin, but of late we've seen hamstring issues, back issues, and torn hip flexors, and that's taken a toll on him for sure.
And guys, for David Lee, when healthy, he can absolutely fill it up. I mean, he's a terrific offensive player, can score over both shoulders, a really solid passer, and, of course, a volume rebounder.
And the Rockets making a change here. Regione's checked in, and San Antonio also making a switch. Simmons is checked in. And both free throws good for Lee.
And David Lee reworking to improve his mid-range jumper going into last season. When he's hitting that shot, guys, he's almost impossible to defend.
Here's Capella. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. There's a screen by Modiunas. Caspi passes to Prigioni. And it's off the back rim, no good.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Ginobili gets a wide open look. A second chance effort. That's good. 6 points for David Lee.
Almost an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender can't give up that much of a height advantage and expect to contest it.
Here's Prigioni. Pass to Modiunas. Houston needs to get a shot up. Here's Prigioni on the mark with the 15-footer. Prigioni's got 5 points so far. Now here's Mills. Tight defense on him. Here's Anderson. Modiunas grabs the miss. Modiunas has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Prigioni for 3. Score the basket, his 3rd after 5 shots.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
Ginobili outside. Out to Lee. Now here's Mills. He's got 5. Fires it up. And that one goes long. Houston's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. There's the pick. Prigioni dishes to Casper. And he gets it to go. Caspi's got 5 now.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Ginobili attacking and just miss after miss right now.
Boy, he blew the easy 2 by profiling. Trying to look good. That's a bad decision and poor execution.
The open shot by Brewer. It's hauled in by Ginobili. San Antonio trailing here. And Simmons kicks to Mills. Anderson a screen on Modiunas. Anderson up top. He feeds it to Simmons. And here's Mills for 3. And that one's good. Mills has got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Guys, 7 times the lead has changed hands here now.
And we still aren't halfway through this contest yet.
Yeah, and that number should easily top double figures before it's over. Yeah, just frustrated by their lack of production offensively, and I can't blame them. I mean, they're getting the looks, but the shots just aren't falling.
Yeah, and the slump that they're having shooting the ball can take its toll on you if you're not mentally strong. So I like this time out here to try to get those guys reset and refocused. Past few weeks, you can see how San Antonio stacks up. 1st in opponent points per game, 3rd in opponent field goal percentage, and they're in the top 10 in fewest turnovers per game. And they really do emphasize taking care of the ball.
And as you mentioned, they've been the best in limiting opponents' points per game. I mean, they really take the life out of a team's offense, grinding things to a halt.
The Rockets trail.
In a season where everyone in the Southwest made it to the playoffs, you just knew it was going to be a war of attrition night in and night out. Still, the Rockets managed to come out on top in the division.
Houston's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. They set the pick. The feed to Prigioni. 3 for Caspi. That's good. Caspi's got 8 points. And the Rockets were just 8 up and 8 down in the Southwest Division. But, Clark, they won the out-of-division games they needed to in order to take the division crown.
Exactly, and it was a tough year to do that because the division was so tough. It was actually the first ever Southwest Division title for the Rockets.
The Houston Rockets are built around the three-point shot. Make no mistake about it, they set a record for a single season in team-made threes. They have so many guys that can hoist it up and hit.
Yeah, and they all have the green light to do so. Last year, you talked about leading the NBA in percentage of shots from beyond the arc, and it wasn't even close. Some stats for Manu Ginobili. How his last 10 games have gone. Averaging about 11 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. When you have a shooter like him off the bench, it makes scoring so much easier for the bench.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, when he's taking on the scorer's role for that second unit, then the other guys can just stay in their lanes.
.129 left in the first half of the game. Mills passes to Lee. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
To give you an idea about the Rockets and how often they are taking threes, almost 40% of their field goal attempts last year were three-pointers. I mean, they've taken the analytics to its extreme there.
And the Rockets took a ton of threes last season and set an NBA record for the most made threes in a season. And David Lee missing time early last season with that hamstring injury also opened the door up for Draymond Green to kind of take that starting power forward role. And give Lee credit, though. Didn't sulk, just threw himself into his new role as a super sub.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Greg, you're talking about David Lee, the two-time All-Star. Pretty much a starter most of his career, though. A big change, Clark, as he came off the bench this past season after he was injured in the preseason.
Yeah, you know, you think about his game, though, Kevin. Highly skilled, mobile, smart. Gives you energy in scoring. I think he's ideal coming off the bench.
Now Mills. 8 points for him. Good. Mills has got 5 points in the quarter.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
There's a screen by Modi Yunus. And Caspi has it in the corner. The shot is off. So the Spurs will take it the other way. There's 38 seconds left to play here in the half. They set the pick. Feeds to Lee. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Yeah, you have to make teams pay for fouling you. That's why they call them free. And they've done exactly that. Made them pay.
The Spurs have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances. The first one falls.
He's doing a much better job of getting to the line this quarter. Much more aggressive taking it to the basket.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Here's Prigioni. 8 points for him. We've got 13 seconds left in the first half. 6 on the shot clock. This one for 3. No good. Simmons. No good. And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. Spurs lead by 3. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Tony, you guys have seemed to be in a good groove lately. Taking a broader look at the season, what's important for this team to have success this year?
To stay healthy. I like our chances this year. Our young guys got a lot of experience, and we play good basketball right now, so hopefully we can stay healthy and play good at the end of the season.
Tony, thank you as always. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for the third quarter of basketball.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be looking back at the game's first half. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. During one stretch, they trailed by 7, never falling behind too far. They played with more purpose in the second quarter and fought to turn an early deficit into a 3-point lead by the time we reached the break. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. The 3 E's, Shaq. That's all I got to say. They've avoided turning the basketball over, and that's a recipe for success. Now, here's how they do it. By sacrificing the highlight reel plays, you get good looks, and those home run plays will still come.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Rockets.
I like the way they rebounded. They devoted a lot of energy down low, fighting for each other on the boards, and they helped keep this game tight. If they can continue to do that, it could easily be the factor that swings the game in their favor.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started. Now back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We will see you later.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
Marcus Aldridge played a great quarter of basketball. He's got 11 points and 1 steal as well. You know, as tremendous as his stats are, what I've liked most is just the effort he's put into this game.
And Clark, he's worked his tail off at the offensive end, and his D, it has been on point.
Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Nene is out there with Beasley, and it's Beverly in at the point. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Now here's Parker. Offensive rebound, Green. Aldridge fires. And the shot's good after hitting off the rim. Aldridge has got the first points of the second half up on the board for San Antonio. Harden sets the pick for Beverly. High, arcing shot, and he gets it to go. And that's now 7 points for James Harden.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
And it's Parker again missing.
The mechanics totally out of whack right now. He's lost his feel for the shot.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, just totally out of sync. I mean, you can just see it in the numbers. Nothing going down for him right now.
Well, you've got Greg Popovich, and I think he puts this at times grumpy demeanor in a more of a spotlight. He's playing along, as we all know, with the sideline reporters. He knows, Greg, you know this firsthand, when to turn it on, when to turn it off. He can be as compassionate a person, Clark, that you and I have ever been around.
Yeah, he's competitive, but he understands that we're all human, and he treats people the right way all the time.
Here's Beverly, following the score by Tony Parker, and that one's good. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Parker dishes to Leonard. Over in the corner, Green. Lots of room. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Green's got his first basket of the night. Rockets trail by 5. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Beasley with a screen on Parker. And Beverly kicks to Harden. Ball's knocked loose. Leonard with the steal. The dish to Parker. Softly drops in the floater. Now it's a 7-point San Antonio lead.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. they can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number one right now. Nothing easy on the inside. That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Well, I tell you what, Nene is a man among boys down low. Remarkable physical power. And he's also got a tough mentality about him. Just a real rugged individual.
Free throw no good for Nene. And getting back to Nene, an obvious inside player with great impact. He looks and plays like a man possessed. Yet through last season, Greg, he's never averaged as much as 8 rebounds a game.
And, you know, his true value is measured in intangibles at times, not just on the stat sheet. He does all the dirty work so others can shine. And so last season for Tony Parker, somewhat of a shift. I mean, he was solid, but injuries cost him a few games. He also had his lowest assists and points per game totals since his rookie year. But he fought through like the champion that he is.
And he makes the first. Last year, a big challenge for Tony Parker. He was in his 14th season, obviously. Every great player needs to transform his game as he gets on in age, Clark. We've seen it with the great ones. Parker did put up the highest three-point percentage of his career last year.
And he also ran the offense with tremendous poise and professionalism and cut down the turnover average as well, the lowest of his career.
And, of course, Tony Parker, so big for San Antonio in those championship runs. But word on the street was that Spurs coach Greg Popovich didn't always go easy on Tony. He really pushed him to the limit.
Yeah, you know, it started back when Tony was invited to the Spurs summer camp before the 2001 draft. One of the scouts was really physical with Tony, really gave him a hard time, and that was really the start of his maturation process in learning to deal with the NBA.
Outside Aldridge. Excellent D there from Beasley. Rockets trail by 5. Ariza with it. Now Green defending. Harden inside the three-point line. Again, the Rockets score.
And, you know, getting back to Popovich's relationship with Tony Parker, Pop made the decision to draft Parker. So he obviously saw something. But Pop's a perfectionist, and if you're going to play point guard for him, you've got to deliver consistently.
Here's Aldridge. James Harden picking up that last basket. 17-foot shot on the way. It's hauled in by Beverly. Beverly's got 3 rebounds now in this one. In the corner, Harden to tie. Rebound, San Antonio. Leonard's got 4 rebounds in this game.
And talking about Tony Parker, Pop's tough love with him really paid off. Tony eventually became incredibly consistent, culminating with him being named the Finals MVP back in '07.
Now here's Leonard. 10 points for him. Misses off the right iron. Harden the pass to Ariza. That's good. Now just a 1-point Spurs lead.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
Leonard against Ariza. Shoots from the baseline. Another miss by Leonard.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Beasley the screen. Harden with it. Picked up by Aldridge. Beasley dishes to Harden. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. For San Antonio, they've gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. Nene against Gasol. Back to Green. 6 on the shot clock. To stop the drought. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Harden kicks to Beasley for the lead. Count it! And he'll have a chance for a 3-point play. That's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
And the Rockets making a change here. Capella's checked in. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
They've really been on fire from beyond the arc tonight, too. I mean, a lot of their points have come from out there.
And Gasol gets it to go. And Clark, a great competitive game so far.
Yeah, tit for tat. I mean, back and forth, plenty of lead changes, and excellent play.
And from the look of it, this one could go right down to the wire.
Now, here is Harden. He's got 9. Down low. It's stolen by Green. He kicks to Parker. Leonard, that's for 2. The Rockets pull it in.
Not a whole lot going down for him at this point. He just can't buy a break.
Beverly with the ball. Leonard picks him up. Ariza has the open look. Another miss by Houston. San Antonio leading. It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, and they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game instead of being the 6th, they could have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
Houston's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Out to the right wing. Here's Capella, headed by Green. Ariza against Gasol. Shot clock at 6. Unloads. The Rockets with another miss.
He's given them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
Parker passes to Aldridge. Leonard, the open look. And he hits the jumper. Well, he's been waiting for that for a while. Leonard's got 12 in the game. Rockets trail by 6. Harden with it. 9 points in the game so far.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You look at the Rockets. Right now they've compiled the 6th best record in the conference. And, of course, San Antonio, 2 games back.
And I think for San Antonio, they've just lacked that one extra piece that could put them over the top this season. They haven't been able to kind of set themselves apart.
You know, you're right. They're not that far from being true contenders, but it doesn't look like this is the season for them to do so.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Monty Eunice is checked in for Beasley. Caspi comes in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Brewer in for Patrick Beverly. Picked by Lee. Mills with it, and it's Harden picking him up. And it's Patty Mills with the 3. Mills has got the lead up to 7 now for the Spurs.
The three-point shot has been a real weapon for them in the second half.
Yeah, they've really done a good job of creating good looks from the outside, and now they've really got it going.
And that one's good.
Back at you. I mean, they immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading spray guns from long range, trading blows from behind the arc.
Now here's Mills. 13 points in the game. 2 open that time. Made it look too easy. And that's 15 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
It's Harden with the drive. Dishes to Brewer, expanding his range. And Ginobili pulls it down. San Antonio leading by 6. Outside Leonard. From 8. And too long on the shot. Kawhi Leonard, with another great season last year, earned his first Defensive Player of the Year award with his outstanding play.
And for Leonard, he became the first perimeter player to win one since 2004. That just shows you how incredible his defense was at times.
Now here's Ginobili. Harden missing his last shot. Left side, Leonard. And it's Leonard again missing.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room. And, you know, for Leonard, you can add that Defensive Player of the Year award to his hardware list, and that puts him in elite company, one of only 3 players to win Defensive Player of the Year and Finals MVP. The other 2, Jordan and Olajuwon.
Here's Mills, following the basket by Moniunas. Aldridge with a screen on Harden. Mills dishes to Aldridge. Well, when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Think of this. For his career, 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And, guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Control the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
Pablo Prigioni, he's checked in for James Harden. And San Antonio with the change here too. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Both free throws good from Aldridge.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
No misses yet. You can't do much better than that, guys.
Here's Prigioni, covered by Mills. No good from Caspi.
And for Leonard, winning the Defensive Player of the Year didn't change him at all. I mean, he received a card for winning that award and gave it to charity. Went out of his way to thank his teammates during his acceptance speech. I mean, I think it speaks of his character and really the impact that Popovich has had on him and that entire Spurs team.
So it's the Rockets now, following the miss by LaMarcus Aldridge. Here's Moniunas. It's rebounded by Aldridge. Aldridge has got 8 rebounds in this game. Now here's Mills, covered by Brewer. And here's Mills. He's got 13. The high post shot. No good. And it's Houston the other way. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at New Orleans. They'll match up against the Pelicans. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Moniunas, and he banks in the layup. Moniunas has got 4 points in the quarter.
They're not as aggressive from the outside here, but maybe they should think about stretching the defense a little bit, like they did in the first half. I mean, stretching the defense makes it easier to score inside, too.
Prigioni for 3. No good on the buzzer beater. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Spurs out in front, up by 4. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the 4th quarter of action when we return. All right, the 4th quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. Rockets trail by 4. On the floor for San Antonio starting the 4th quarter. The timeless Parker and Manu are the 1 and the 2. Anderson is out there with Green, and it's Gasol and at the center, filling out the middle. Out to the wing. Here's Parker, and they cash in right away with the quick shot. Parker's got the first basket as we get going in the 4th for the Spurs. Moniunas, a screen on Parker. Passes it to Nene. Again, the miss by Nene.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Green kicks to Parker. There's a good screen. 5 on the clock. In the corner, it's Ginobili. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. There's a screen by Modi Yunus. And the pass to Nene. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Well, as Greg was just talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammond, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
James Harden, he's checked in for Houston. Leonard, he's checked in for the Spurs. And that trip coming up empty, missing both. It's no secret, Clark, what this Houston Rockets team wants to do. They want to get to the line, drive the lane, and hurt you from outside the arc.
And they'll do it all at a very fast pace. I mean, they're fun to watch. The pace is something that I think sneaks up on teams sometimes, Kevin.
Good point. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
Nothing too fancy, just simple execution. That's getting the job done when they need to make every possession count.
Completely agree with that, Clark. They need stops and really can't afford any wasted possessions. Those inside shots are nice, high-percentage looks.
And Anderson gets it to go.
And no doubt the Rockets were one of the faster-paced teams in the league last year. When you have the firepower they do, you want it to become a scoring fest.
Now, here is Harden. Nene outside. There's a screen by Modi Yunus. Down to 5 on the shot clock. 13 feet away. Again, the miss by Nene.
A lot of the wins for the Rockets, guys, I thought last year came from just wearing down their opponent. I mean, you can keep up with their pace for a quarter, maybe 2, but it's very hard to sustain it for 48 minutes shot for shot.
Wow, what a rough second half for him shooting the basketball. Maybe you adopt a pass-first mentality at this point. And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Here's Anderson following the score by Trevor Ariza. Anderson, a screen on Ariza. Outside Leonard. Back to Anderson. To the inside. Taken away by Nene. Now here's Beverly. There's a screen by Modi Yunus. Nene with the screen on Parker. Here's Beverly. Anderson with the block. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
Now here's Harden. 6 to shoot. Here's Beverly. It's good from long range. Now Parker. Anderson outside. He's looking for Leonard and finds him. It's rebounded by Houston. Ariza's got 4 rebounds now tonight. He dishes it to Beverly. Pass to Modi Yunus. Here's Harden.
Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful jam. And you talk about momentum. That sort of action delivers a type of energy to your team that you just can't quantify.
You know what? I'm going to quantify it right now, Clark. And this is a close game, and that was something special.
And really,
good try.
In a game, you guys, in a game like this, though, when you have a chance to send a message, you do. And boy, did he ever on that play.
And that last replay courtesy of Pia. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. He told them the game is right there for the taking, fellas, but we've got to be first. First to loose balls, first to the rim. We have to give our all right here. Kevin, now's the time.
Thank you, Doris. And the Rockets making a change here. Beasley's checked in. Leonard with the ball. Picked up by Nene. Leonard, no luck. Rockets trail by 3. Harden outside. Kicks it to Ariza to tie it up. Marcus Aldridge grabs the miss. Aldridge has got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Leonard on the wing. Looking to get it going. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Nene. For a long time in San Antonio, it's been about the big 3, and rightfully so with all their wins. And Kawhi Leonard seems to be their future.
And Kawhi and the big 3 recognize that and are trying to ease the transition period. And if you know the Spurs, they'll make a smooth transition, won't they, Kevin?
Absolutely. The free throw good from Kawhi Leonard.
And guys, for Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs, Coach Popovich already sees him as the next guy. He told Leonard not to think of the big 3, but to think of himself as the big 1.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
And guys, with what Popovich said about Leonard, small things like that can be the catalyst to get a player to reach greatness. Sooner or later, this will be Kawhi's team.
Now here's Beverly. Beasley left side. Offensive rebound. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
Well, I like what they're doing inside here in the second half. I mean, they're still trailing, but they're showing a lot of grit down low in the paint.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Spurs.
A lot of times when they needed some easy points in this game, they've been able to get to the foul line and get them.
They've also been pounding it inside tonight and coming away with a lot of points in the paint. I call those PIPs. You look at what Nene has done so far. 11 rebounds, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
You know what? The number is not huge, but he has been doing some valuable defensive work for them.
Pau Gasol was the number 3 pick back in 2001. He managed to average 18 and 9 his first season, was Rookie of the Year, became a perennial All-Star. There's no way his younger brother Mark, who was a second-round pick, could ever match up to that, right? Not so fast, people. Mark's pretty good, too.
Now here's Harden. Beasley the screen. Harden draws the double. Puts up the baby hook. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Gasol. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game. Lee's checked in for the Spurs.
Nene at the line for 2.
That one is off.
You look at the second half, and you can point to missed opportunities, especially at the foul line, as one of the main reasons for this loss, if they go on to do that here.
He hits the second from the line. Spurs leading by 5. Parker passes to Green. Back to Parker. Lee sets a screen for Parker. Aldridge a screen. Pass to Green. Shot clock at 6. Leonard dishes to Lee. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And the Spurs lead by 7. Houston's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. It's Ariza on the wing. The Rockets again can't hit. Spurs have gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. Parker kicks to Leonard. Green with a screen for Leonard. To the middle. Here's Aldridge. It's rebounded by Houston.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
Parker with the steal. Rockets with the rebound. Beverly's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Ariza.
And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim unabated in stride.
Aldridge a screen. Aldridge with a screen on Beverly, and there's the feed to Green. Here's Aldridge. Oh, that's blocked. It's Ariza on the wing. Fires the 3. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Here's Parker. Picked by Lee. Parker passes to Green. Back to Parker. Lee sets a screen for Parker. Clock at 4. Lets it go from 11. And it's good. Parker's got 10 points here in the second half.
He is pouring it on in the second half, guys. I mean, a much better showing than he had before the break. They've been committing a lot of turnovers, and I imagine that's exactly what they're talking about right now. They need to tighten it up.
And the Rockets making a change here. Capella's checked in. Rockets trail by 4. Beverly with the ball. There's the screen. Ariza outside. Offline with his 3.
Outstanding perimeter defense there. That was a well-contested shot.
Yeah, and you know he takes a lot of pride in his defense. There are no easy threes if he's on you.
Yeah, quick trigger. And from that range, if he senses the defenders have backed off, forget about it.
Parker against Beverly. Back to Harden. He feeds it to Beverly. The dish to Capella. Clock at 6. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
That's his 3rd personal foul. Shooting for Houston, Clint Capella. Taking 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
And they're having a lot of trouble at the line today. And unfortunately, it's the kind of day we've seen this team have a lot.
Manu Ginobili's checked in for San Antonio. Second free throw, no good.
They're digging their own hole here, throwing dirt on themselves. They haven't been nearly as efficient from the line as they were in the first half, and that can be self-destructive.
Leonard, no luck. Rockets trail by 5. And here's Beverly. Feeds to Harden. Beasley the screen. It's Harden with the drive. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Harden's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And they'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
Parker dishes to Aldridge, and he jams it with authority.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Parker against Beverly. He kicks it to Harden. They set the pick from past the arc. Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound.
Tell you what, the defense has nothing to worry about out there with him shooting. I mean, he can't dial it in from deep this half at all.
Outside Aldridge. Now here's Parker. Dishes it to Lee. The 11-footer. And yep, couple bounces and it falls. And it's a 7-point Spurs lead.
Boy, that was a thing of beauty by Parker.
Houston's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the fourth. And Beverly kicks to Harden. Back to Beverly. And the rejection by Leonard. Passes to Parker. And the pass to Aldridge. Puts up the baby hook. Can't get it to go. Excellent D there from Beasley. And for the Rockets, they're shooting 44% in the fourth. The offense with some ups and downs. Here's Harden. It's rebounded by Leonard.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
Aldridge's screen. Pass to Ginobili. Aldridge with a screen on Beasley. And Ginobili, here we go. He's off from 17 feet.
Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
That's example number 1 of why he is such a strong defensive player and why he has such a great defensive reputation.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
Parker passes to Aldridge. Puts up the baby hook. Here's Lee. No luck. So Houston will take it the other way. Clark, a big-time possession here.
Tell you what, their hearts have to be racing right now.
Beverly wide open. San Antonio with the rebound. And that's an intentional foul. San Antonio making a switch here. Simmons is checked in.
Into the lineup for Spurs, Jonathan Simmons.
We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and an intentional foul right there.
That's his second personal foul. At the line for the Rockets, Tony Parker. 2 shots.
He hits the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 7-point game.
Perfectly done at the stripe there. That brings their lead up to an even more comfortable level.
Okay, fans, put your hands together for the Rockets Power Dancers.
And here are the Rockets now. They trail by 7. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And the rejection by Leonard. Ginobili kicks to Parker. And so it's San Antonio with the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, first off, congratulations on this win, Pal, and tell us how you feel about the team's progress so far this year.
Well, we've done a lot better. We've done a lot better recently, and we want to continue. We don't want to get complacent. I think we still got ways to go and things to improve. But we're definitely doing a lot better than we were.
Always good to see signs of progress, Pal. Thank you for the time. Gentlemen?
Doris, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. And we send you now over to Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's present our Jordan player of the game, Kawhi Leonard. He's racked up a double-double with points and rebounds tonight, and that made the difference. A terrific effort on both sides of the floor.
The thing that has to jump out at you is all of those points in the paint. He found every gap in the defense that he could, and he never stopped attacking the basket. If the D was expecting him to just hang out on the perimeter, they were wrong.
Well, this win was really, really needed, and he went out and he got it for him. They lost 2 in a row coming in, and dropping a third straight would have been very, very rough. But he took it upon himself, took it right to the ship, as he always does. Great performance and a great time to deliver.
And that will do it for our special Christmas Day broadcast of the NBA here on 2K Sports. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon, and good night, everybody.